I read this parable, I knew I was going to be a rich man, because when Jesus tells the story of the three servants and their master's money, most people just hear use your gifts and move on. And if you don't know exactly why the third servant was cast into outer darkness after being called wicked, slothful, and unprofitable, after watching this, you might realize that you're living the exact same way that servant was. Because I was, and I wish someone would have told me this sooner. Because the servant doesn't just make a bad investment decision. He takes his fear and dresses it up as wisdom and slaps it on God, saying, I knew you to be a hard man. But today, this sounds more like, this just isn't my season, I'm not sure it's God's will, I don't feel ready yet. This all sounds holy, but when you dissect it, you realize it's fear dressed up as wisdom and rebellion dressed up as humility. And just like that servant, you're proving that no matter how much light you see in the character of God, you still only see darkness. And that's why he's called wicked, slothful, and unprofitable. They're all in the same category. And in the family business that is the kingdom of God, refusing to risk isn't safe. It's rebellion disguised as humility. Because if you're not actively turning something into more, by default, you were turning it into less. And you were given things to steward. And you might have the ability to deny that stewardship, but you certainly don't have the right. It's kind of like your parents going on a trip and giving you money in case of an emergency, but you host a party with it. And while you have the ability to deny the stewardship and even exploit it, you definitely don't have the right to do it. And I'm not talking about parents and parties. I'm talking about your time, your attention, your emotional capacity, your spiritual light, the opportunities you've been given, and the vices you know you need to quit. Because if you're not intentionally and intensely becoming more with what you've been given, you're drifting toward the same verdict: wicked, slothful, and unprofitable. Because what you do with what you receive reveals what you believe. And refusing to risk and refusing to try are not neutral. They quietly accuse God of being a hard master.